Alright, hi everyone and welcome to Lesson 19. In Lesson 19 we're going to learn about symbols for multiplication as well as multiplying and dividing fractions. So first of all, very quickly, we are used to writing multiplication like this, 4x3. However, in algebra we actually use the letter x as a factor. We use that as an actual kind of like a number, so it doesn't work well to have it as a multiplication sign anymore. We need to come up with something different. So for that reason, sometimes we just do 4.3, and that means multiplication. We also put the second number in parentheses. Whenever you notice a number right next to another number with only parentheses right here, then you know that's multiplication. You can also put the first number in parentheses. So notice there's nothing really right there. It doesn't say 4 plus 3 or anything. It doesn't say 4 minus 3. It says just 4 and then a 3. So that means multiplication. Now you can also have 4 and the 3 in parentheses. And notice there's nothing there. It doesn't say 4 plus 3 or 4 minus 3 or anything. So you know that's multiplication. Alright, so now that we've talked about that, let's go ahead and talk about multiplying fractions. Here is an example. 4/9 times, notice I didn't write an x, I put the parentheses, times 5/7. So how do you solve this? Well, for multiplication, it doesn't matter if the denominators are different. That's really exciting because it's kind of hard to find the same factors or for the same denominators for adding fractions where it is important. But for multiplying, it actually isn't important. You can just multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators. So what's 4 times 5? 4 times 5 is 20. What's 9 times 7? 9 times 7 is 63. And that would be our answer. 20 over 63. Done. That's not too hard, is that? Let's go ahead and do one more problem. I'm going to write this like this. 2/3 squared. What does squared mean? Well, we know what that means. That means it's multiplied by itself. So 2/3 times 2/3, how many times? Well, 2 times. So 2/3 times 2/3 equals 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4/9. So multiplying fractions is really easy, and all you have to remember is that multiplication may look a little different because we are in algebra now, and we have to use different symbols for multiplication. Now I just crossed that out because I need to make some room for division. Here's a new problem. 3/4 divided by 1/2. So this is a little different. Whenever you are dividing something by a fraction, what you do is you recopy it. So you copy it again. I'm going to copy 3/4. And instead of a division sign, you change that to a multiplication sign. And then you write the reciprocal of the second fraction. What's the reciprocal? It means that you flip it upside down. So instead of the 1 being in the numerator, the 1 goes on the bottom. Instead of the 2 being in the denominator, it goes in the numerator. So 3/4 divided by 1/2 looks like this. 3/4 times 2 over 1, and then you can solve that just like if it was a regular multiplication problem. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 1 is 4. Let's simplify that. This can be a 3, it can be a 2, or you can write 3/2. The same thing as 1 and 1/2. So I'm not sure how we should write that. This is correct and this is correct too. But the important thing that you remember is when you divide something, you should copy it down again and change the division sign to multiplication and write the reciprocal of that second number before you multiply as usual. So it sounds kind of weird, like why would you multiply when you're supposed to be dividing? But that's why you have to do this step and change this to a multiplication sign and write the reciprocal. Okay, that was lesson 19. We covered a lot. A new way of representing multiplication. We learned about multiplication of fractions. You just multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. We also learned how to do division with fractions, and that special step where we change the division sign to multiplication and write the reciprocal.